just curious if you've decided what you're going to do with quarterback this week.
Yeah, most definitely have. Yeah.
When you're evaluating the quarterbacks, what do you want to see, and what are you hoping to see against
Leadership
Wyoming?
and consistency. That's it. That ain't much to ask for, is it? Leadership and consistency. I look for that for everyone. Every man, every woman that's involved in my life, leadership and consistency.
Start of week 4, heading into the final non-conference game of the season, the Wyoming Cowboys on the schedule for Saturday. And the quarterback position is still a question here at CU.
Yep.
But just like last week, Coach Prime, not going to really reveal anything, but he knows what he's doing. So
For sure. Coach Prime says he most definitely knows what the plan is this weekend, but that was all the details he gave. Aside from wanting leadership and consistency from his quarterback, whether that is going to be Caden Salter or Ryan Staub or maybe even the true freshman Julian Juju Lewis, that's what he's looking for. But that's all the details he's going to give, and this isn't surprising. This is what he did last week, right? He wasn't forthcoming about his quarterback plans, and nobody even really knew for sure until it was Pete Thamel, right, at ESPN, who said, I think on Wednesday, that Ryan Staub was going to be a starter. So it makes sense, right? It doesn't do you any favors to tip your opponent off to they should be game planning for, who the starter is going to be. I think it's going to be Caden Salter. I think you do too as well. And that's where you go. And you got to start finding an identity, which we'll talk about on the other side of this clip here.
Based on what you know about, your personnel on offense, the skill sets of everybody on that unit, what do you feel like the identity of this offense should be, or is that something you guys are still trying to work through and figure out?
You don't want to say what things should be. I mean, because that just gets you upset when you walk out of here, what things should be. I should be probably 5 pounds heavier right now, but, I had the little setbacks. We're getting there, and we're going to get there within the next maybe Saturday, maybe couple games after that, but we're going to get there with the consistency that we desire. I can see it. We're going to get there.
It might be the number one thing this team is looking for, right? An identity right now. And Coach Prime, I asked him about it. You heard his answer right there. He is not exactly vibing with the word identity right now. He's more so vibing with the word winning. And that's what he's looking for, however that comes. But he did say that identity should start to hopefully reveal itself this weekend. I think it should be a run-first attack, and I think that's part of the reason why you go with Caden Salter. I think he fits that identity, that type of concept offensively the best. But we'll see this Saturday how it unfolds.
I kind of understand where Coach is coming from, though. I mean, you're a 1-2 football team. You're going into this Wyoming game. You're at a point where you just got to stack wins.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't matter what it looks like, whether you are running the ball more, you're getting the receivers involved, who's at quarterback. You just have to stack wins at this point. And I think he's right in that, if you win, you start stacking those, everyone will start to feel better and some trends will start to emerge in terms of identity and all that. So hopefully it starts this weekend, which is also something he said. Maybe Saturday you start to see that identity start to take place. Yeah. But it's about winning more than anything right now.
And usually if you practice 60 or 70% of the plays, you get that day off. You have to, come out there dressed, but you don't have to work. The whole defense came out there padded up. And I said, wow. I said, why do you guys wear your pads? They said, because we didn't feel like we played well. We got to work. And I think everybody but maybe 2 or 3 players on the offense was padded up. So it's kind of the same sentiment. So I'm proud of the resilience. I'm proud of the way they responded today. Usually the first days of the week are horrendous practices. They worked their butts off today. They really did. We changed the format up a little bit to kind of change it up so they could have something new to look forward to. But they got after it today. They really did. I'm proud of them.
So you heard the highlights there. Coach Prime not really sharing much on the podium again this week. It feels like a bit of a tense time in the program right now within the team. Obviously, last weekend in the Big 12 opener, not how anyone wanted it to go. You have a team in Wyoming coming in here that you should beat handily, and it should be, no worry about that game being in jeopardy. But it just feels like this team desperately needs a win. I mean, it's reminding me almost of the lead up into Delaware a couple weeks ago.
I'll tell you what this team desperately needs: a fast start. And that was a common theme, whether we talk to DJ McKinney, Tawfiq Bart, or Coach Prime. A fast start is needed. You didn't get one really in week 1. Even though you had 3 first-quarter turnovers that you forced defensively, the offense kind of had a slow start. That game, that week 2 against Delaware, was going to be 10-0 going into the half. And then obviously you had a brutally slow start last week. This team needs to come out starting fast against Wyoming, put it on them early, get a lead early. And, right, that's what you have to see against a team talent-wise that you're much more superior than. Hopefully we see it. And it sounds like they've also made additions to practice, right? They started with a competition period for practice to start this week to kind of get the juices flowing earlier. So start fast. That's what we got to see, and hopefully it leads to a dub.